Steve, The Big Short, it's a success in that it takes a complicated subject and it makes it accessible without patronising the audience member. Do you think that's a fair assessment of your new movie?
I think that should be the end of the interview. Let's put that right on the poster. That's exactly it. I think that's what our director was going for. Adam McKay was trying to take a very dense, complicated subject and break it down without dumbing it down.
And there's an amazing cast. How many of the guys did you know were already in the film? Did you need to know that those guys were involved, or when the director comes to you, is it very much he just talks to you and you have a kind of one-on-one dialogue?
He sent me the script, and I've known Adam since 1990, so we go way, way back. And I was really flattered that he would think of me for this part too, because you don't necessarily think, Steve Carell, Christian Bale, Brad Pitt, Ryan Gosling. I was really happy and honored to have been invited in. But no, he just sent me the script and said, I have this part in mind for you. And I read it and thought it was great. And then he started telling me about the other people he was interested in getting to do it.
But the terminology when you're dealing with this financial world is so hard to grasp. It's true. When you see it, like, the visuals help. On a page, it must be like, this isn't fun.
It's daunting. It is like learning a different language, because you're reading collateralized debt obligations and synthetic CDOs, and you're trying to gain a sense of what you're talking about, because you don't want to learn it phonetically. You want to have at least a vague idea of what you're saying so it rings true. And we had financial gurus on set and helping us out in the process and trying to guide us through, because it is a different world. I don't know anybody from this world. I didn't grow up with it. So there was a learning curve involved for sure.
Was there ever a fear that you might end up vilifying or demonizing guys who have these jobs? Because in America, there's a lot of people who do these jobs.
Sure.
And you kind of don't want to be too earnest or too high and mighty.
No.
Because movies are often kind of accused of perhaps, being quite sort of nailing people to the wall without having all the facts.
Well, one of the things I liked about this movie is that it's funny. And it's actually funnier than I thought it would be. You read it, you look at the script, and as you said, it's all of this verbiage, and you think, how is this going to play? How are people going to respond to this? How is this going to be accessible? Adam had a way of breaking it down, disseminating it, so you could enjoy it. You could get a grasp of what's going on, and that's really all you need. You don't need to understand every term all along the way. But in terms of demonizing people, I think I liked it because there's this gray area as to who these guys are. They aren't heroes or villains. They're very human, and it felt very real to me in that way. We did a Q&A in Los Angeles a few weeks ago after people had screened the movie, and someone in the back stood up and in a rather snarky way said, "Come on, are we supposed to think these guys are heroes after the economy collapses and they end up making all this money? Are we supposed to feel sorry for them for making that choice?" And Adam had a great response, because it was exactly what you want it to be. No, they're conflicted. There's a lot going on. They might have seen themselves as heroes to a certain extent, and they were heroes in the sense that they were uncovering the truth of the matter. But at the same time, they stood to make a lot of money off of the failure and collapse of the economy.
And as you say, there's that side of things, but it is funny, and smart and whip smart and clever. Out of all the guys who were there, Ryan and Christian and Brad, did you spend most of your time offset trying to make them laugh?
I never met Christian because all of his stuff was shot separately. I couldn't believe I was in a movie with Christian Bale. Honestly, it was pretty exciting. Brad, I saw one day. Our group sort of meet in passing, and so I spent most of my time with Ryan. And and I know him from Crazy Stupid Love. So we kind of go back and are friends. So I would say most of the time was spent with him.
Okay. Well, it's a really brilliant movie. So
Thanks.
I'll see you in another year.
I hope I have something good to show you.
Foxcatcher 2.
Foxcatcher 2. yeah.
I can't wait for that
I'll
one.
be waiting. Let's hope there's not a Big Short 2.
Yes, exactly.
Because that is
That
bad
would be
for all of us.
disastrous.